Cervantes, and Coach Juan as a head of baseball operations here at EM, Speed and Power. And I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about his what his history is. Where you started in baseball.
Where I started in baseball, I played high school baseball at Los Altos High School in Hacienda Heights. Played 4 years of varsity there. Believe late in my senior year, I was offered a scholarship at Cal State Northridge. So accepted, obviously.
Seaside,
yes,
nice.
Definitely. Super excited to play there. Got hurt. Had a little tear in my rotator cuff. So kind of left the program, tried to rehab somewhere. Didn't really work 100% out for me. And then I got an invite from Coach Moses over for the Baltimore Orioles organization. And this is when they used to do tryouts like at Citrus College and Chaffin College. Mm-hmm. So made the squad, played low A ball with them for about 2 seasons. Then was released, sad day in most baseball players' minds. Right. And then went to Mexico and played pro ball there for the Cancun Tigres for 3 years.
Wow.
And
that's a competitive league.
That was a competitive league. and different move because I'm not fluent in Spanish. I can understand, but I'm not really good at speaking back. Yeah. But it was just different type of baseball. I mean, over there I was considered like a guy. And I was like, whoa. I mean, here in the States I was okay, I was good, but I wasn't a guy. And then you go there and you're considered a guy. It was just different. It was like, wow, this is cool. I can do this for a long time.
But I mean, if you play college ball, you're a guy, and so every kid out here wants to play college ball.
Yes, that's the goal.
I know there's some kids that, I would love to get a professional contract or whatever, but that's like in the negotiation, whatever, if you're going to go to college and play, it's the ultimate, from our perspective, to be able to say that we're going to be playing a team sport at a college, getting some of your education paid for, or all of your education paid for, and then whatever happens past that
is a bonus. Whatever happens past that is a bonus. I mean, I think most of our student athletes now should be playing and working hard towards getting a scholarship because it's really a contract. I mean, as a past recruiter for NAIA baseball, when we're offering you money, that's free money we're giving you. And we're just expecting you to play a sport and play well. But a lot comes with that too because, we expect you to have good grades and work hard in the classroom and make sure that you're not a trouble kid and then still perform on the field. It's tough. Student athletes is a tough thing. It's not like when I was growing up and when I was younger, it's like you were a dumb jock. There's no such thing. I mean, that's just, it's false. It's hard. It's hard being a student athlete. I mean, you had 2 of them. I have one right now who's a student athlete, college baseball player. It's a rough life, especially now. It's a lot harder nowadays than it was when I played.
Yeah, but I mean, and you have even a more unique perspective because you coached at college.
Yes, so I've all 3 as a college baseball player myself. My son's a college athlete now, so as a parent and then as a coach, and looking at it from that side. And it's great when you're able to make a family happy, and then it really hurts when you're having to pull money or this kid was on your radar and you're all about him and then he kind of slips and then it's like when all said and done we're not really looking for you anymore.
Right.
That's the hardest part as a coach because it's a business at that point, and if you let your heart get involved, it hurts. And I've been hurt by a couple of players that I thought were my guys and I wanted that guy, and then they kind of slip up grade-wise. Most of the time it's grades. 90% of the time it's grades. It's really never happens too much on the field, but 90% of the time it's grades. They just feel like, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to play, and then they just kind of forget about everything else.
Or I've got my verbal, I stopped working.
Yes. And the verbal, again, I mean, it's great. We were excited when my son did it. I mean, it's exciting, but it really means nothing at the time. It's just that you're kind of off the market, but no guarantee.
Yeah.
And that's scary for a lot of these young athletes right now. It's tough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everybody's got a story about that kid who, was like a shooting star and then got a verbal or got some sort of commitment and then said, I got this. Now I'm wearing the T-shirt. My parents have the chairs.
The flags hanging up on the house. Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, even though it's tough even to get a college's attention.
Yes.
And when you were a coach to be able to get your attention, you went about coaching a whole kind of different way than it's being done
Now,
today.
yes. So when I was recruiting, it was about going out and see as many guys as you can. So if I had 6 shortstops and they're all high school guys, or it's a summer ball, travel ball stuff, you're trying to get out where most of them are going to be. So bigger tournaments are in Arizona for a perfect game. So I would go out to Arizona and you stay there for 2 or 3 days and you're just watching every shortstop that's on your list, right? And this is the way I did is you're going out there and you're just taking notes and what do they do right and what are they doing wrong? How are they walk to the field? How do they walk away from the field? Do you know when the guy's 3 for 3 or do you know when he's 0 for 3? Are they showing body language? And that's the old way of recruiting. The new way of recruiting, and again, it's not wrong, and it helps recruiters, it helps college coaches, and I talk to a ton of them, but I'm always trying to find out, what are we looking for? How do I go about this? How do I know where to send a guy to? And it's a lot of analytics. Analytics is kind of where we're going in our game. Big leagues they're already doing it. So obviously the colleges are going to fall in next, and then high school is going to be there, and then if you're in a good summer program, they should be starting to do some of this stuff now too. But your blast, your hit tracks, your Rapsodo, all that stuff is important because it's giving those coaches the numbers they're looking for. Right. And it eliminates them having to go out to a tournament and taking time away from their families and going out there and looking at 7-8 games a day, and you're like, it's long, it's a long day, Right. You're out in the beaten sun. Well, now they can go on here and on say blast, look at the numbers they want, the numbers that match for them, what they're looking for, their spectrum they want, and they can eliminate, if it's 6 shortstops, they may have limited down to 3. It makes the recruiting process so much easier for them.
Right.
Because they can just go watch those 3 guys. Now,
but I mean, that's how important that number is.
It's how important those numbers have become. They're super at the top of everybody's list, at the college level and at the big league level. Big league level is doing the same thing. Yeah. So, I mean, you're a AA guy and they see your numbers, and they see your numbers continue to increase by just the analytics, not your batting average, just analytics part. You get called up, and you're going to pass somebody up, and it's the same thing in college. You have those numbers they're looking for. You're going to be on that radar. We call it the short board. We want you on that short whiteboard. Yep. If your name's on that board, that's a great thing.
Yeah. It seems like in Major League Baseball, or in minor league baseball, it's like there's a person that goes over the numbers, and then might not even be a baseball guy.
Most times not.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he's the guy that sends information to, so he's basically disqualifying all these guys that maybe don't have the analytics that he's looking for, or whatever they've considered what the mean average of whatever, rotational acceleration or whatever. And so these guys, although they can play, they don't even get on his list to be able to tell the actual baseball guy, go check this guy out. Now these guys are good to follow.
These guys, yeah. And we learned it a lot when we had Dino here a couple weeks ago.
Right. And
Dino was telling us that over here at Quakes, they have it all set up. So at Quakes, Andrew Friedman gets to see every number that's there of every batter. And he gets it himself. So it's, emailed whatever to Dino and Dave Roberts and all the big guys. So if you're a low A ball player with the Quakes, everything you're doing is being submitted up to the big guys. So the big guys are able to see every, and that's for every organization they have.
Right.
So whether it's low A, double A, triple A, they're going to see all these numbers. That's how important a numbers game is now in baseball.
Right.
And it's going to continue to grow.
I know that with Ryan, because there is a certain program that he has access to that it has every single pitch of every single game with the analytics and the film. So they have all that information available to them to be able to make those decisions. So definitely change what they're doing.
Yeah.
But before we go down a rabbit hole and start talking about that, our kids here, I mean, the reason why we are doing what we're doing is because we want to give them the best opportunity to be able to be that guy that has the numbers to where they can get on the board and then they can prove themselves.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to put a shameless plug in, but how important is the weight room?
I mean, the weight room, again, I think what we have here compared to when I was coaching college baseball, our weight room here is probably 100 times better than what our guys have. My son playing at the University of Washington and then transferring over to Santa Barbara, I mean, they're in that weight room 6 a.m. every morning, 6 a.m. workouts. Baseball on the field is a very small, minute part of the game nowadays. It's everything else you're doing. The weight room, the speed and agility, the band work, every part of outside of on the field is probably more important than being on the field. Keeping yourself healthy, keeping yourself in shape, keeping yourself the stretchability, all that good stuff comes into play. And here, I mean, they have it all. They have college workout stations here that are better than most universities you're going to go to. I mean, of course, you have the big ones, Vanderbilts and all that good stuff. That state of the art is just ridiculous. But most colleges, I mean, we compete. We compete every day. And again, the workouts we're doing is what they're doing in college now. Yeah. And we verified, some of our boys were a little upset and we're like, come on, coach. And I called my son and he's like, we're doing the same thing, guys. Like, we do the same thing every day. Every day, keep our bodies going. This is what keeps us going to play the game at a longer term.
Like it or not, it's a grind.
It is.
Right, and so the only way to get better is to grind it out. In baseball,
100%.
but it's also in the weight room here. This is going to give the edge.
Yeah.
So we all know that. Sometimes we get frustrated as you as a coach to be able to say, okay, this guy throws 84. Man, if he threw 88, 89,
he'd be on someone's board.
And so the only way to get there is not by getting some weighted ball, crazy program, something. It's
work. Get in here and do the work. I mean, lift weights. You get stronger. The stronger you are, the further you get into baseball. The stronger you are, the harder you can be able to throw.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Sometimes that gets lost.
100% it gets lost.
Because everyone's looking for that magic pill.
Everybody wants a magic pill, and everyone thinks that to get better is more reps. And I was watching a video the other day, and the guy's like, listen, when I played big league ball, I thought the more reps I take, the better I'm going to be. And as you get to a certain age, you start realizing that it could be 20 reps that day, but you had 20 great reps and you felt like, man, the feel was there, then stop. Right. You just had 20 great reps, stop. There's no reason to hit no more. You're done. So it's not always just about, well, I'm going to go hit 200 baseballs. I was always taught that, 200 baseballs keeps the coach away from you. You know what I mean? And go hit 200 baseballs and coach is not going to complain. Right. But you can go there and hit 200 just bad baseballs. And what did you do for yourself that day? You did nothing. So it's just working, feel, weight room, speed and agility, all that stuff makes you a good baseball player. And a guy who's going to play for a long time.
Yeah. So they even have more to deal with now with, to get recruited because there's a portal.
Yes.
And so you have kids that bounce back or kids that fell out of the program that are floating. And so, and already have college baseball experience.
At least 1 year, yeah.
So if you're a coach, you're kind of like, well, I'm looking at the portal, see who's there.
That's the first place. That's first place we look at, right? So, I think at the end of last year's baseball season, we had 7,200 kids in the portal. So this is Division I, Division II, NAIA athletes. Okay, all parts of baseball, all spectrums of baseball. Whatever school you had, there was somebody in that portal from that school. So what happens is a recruiter now that's looking and saying, okay, my second baseman, I need another second baseman. Yes, we look at the high school, but who are we going to look at first? We're going to look at the portal first because those guys are proven. They play baseball. Right. Kids leave for tons of reasons. There could be a clash with the coach. There could be, I was recruited here. I was told there was only 2 second basemen. There's 6. Right. I'm getting out of here. I'm not going to sit that long. I want to go play. So there's tons of reasons why guys get in the portal, but as a recruiter, you're looking at that portal guy. Just like we used to look at the JUCO guy. Yeah. We wanted the junior college guy because he's older, so he's supposed to be more mature, right? Yeah. And then he's got that 1 year of college in him. So bringing him on, it's not going to be such a big transition. But I will say here, though, it's not a big transition because everything we're doing here, they do at the college level. Right. So we're preparing the kids here for them. They already know that you go into school, you're going to work out. You're going to eat right. We're going to push all these things on you, and you have no choice. Because when we sign you, we own you. And you're going to do what we ask you to do, right. And you're going to smile and like it because you're there. This is what your parents spent all the money for, to travel. This is why you're putting all that time in. The ultimate goal is to play college baseball, right? For most players. And then there's some that are better that are just going to get drafted out of high school, and hey, man, they've reached the ultimate goal, which is great. Mm-hmm. Can't knock them for it. That's awesome.
Although there's very few of those guys that actually do go out of high school and actually
make it all the way.
Make it all the way.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough to miss that college experience.
It is, and if it was my son, like I said, my son got drafted by the Padres really late. I mean, he's 37th, 38th round or something.
Yep.
And he was all about it. Yeah, I'm going to go. And I was like, yeah, no way. You're going to school. I mean,
no way.
The money they're giving you doesn't even cover your 4 years of the university. You just got a scholarship for it. And enjoy life, because it's a business at the college level, but it's still fun. You're still pampered. You're treated great. You're at a university. You get to wear all the swag, and you're traveling in planes. You're not on buses, long bus rides, and eating the Waffle House. It's good times there, you know.
Been there,
in
right?
college, been at that level where you're eating Waffle House or Denny's, and it's like you're putting poisons in your body, and you're supposed to go out there and compete every day.
Right.
Or in college, they're taking care of you. The nutritionist, you have everything there.
So when the kid's here and he's getting all of this stuff, you have your, pitchers working with your pitching guy. You have your hitters. You're working with you and working with your other hitting guys, fielding, et cetera, doing all that stuff. And then, and this is one of the things I talked to Coach Donna about. Once in a while, I will get a call, and it'll be, hey, listen, so-and-so has a hitting coach, and your coach wants them to land early, blah, 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 hands here, whatever. And so you guys are telling them to do something different.
A little different,
right? I know that there's certain absolutes in hitting.
Yes.
Which even the analytics point out.
They show it,
Right?
You'll know if you're doing it right or wrong.
Right. And so, right. And so those are vetted through Major League zillions of Major League Baseball guys, minor league baseball guys, college guys, high school guys, every level. Blast has gone through all that
all of the
homework.
Yes.
To add to that, you have that eye of ex-college coach. I don't even like saying ex. When you're a college coach, you're a college coach. Being a college coach and a professional baseball player, right? And so you're seeing it with your own eyes. So sometimes it identifies it for you. Sometimes it gives you a tip. Maybe I'll look at that next time. Why is he not getting all that rotation or whatever? But I guess I'm trying to say there are certain absolutes in hitting you have to be successful.
Yes.
Through all of that experience, through all these analytics and all that stuff. How do you approach that? With a parent maybe that says, "Hey,
he's hitting with so and so, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
or
for us,
pitching with so and so, or whatever.
For us, I mean, the first time, like if a guy's like, "Hey, coach, you know what? My hitting coach is so and so, and this is how he teaches." Because I've been now in this area for a while, I know most of the hitting coaches now. And some of the times I'll be like, there's no way he teaches that. I know.
Right.
But most times though, I'll video it. I'll video it for him. And I'll tell him, okay, cool. I'll send the video to the player and I'll tell him, hey, well, show your coach this. And then show him this. And we'll show him what we kind of want him to do and how we figured it. Luckily, I'm lucky. I got 3 young guys that all just kind of retired from the game. Yeah. Ray played with the Houston Astros organization. And he's a AAA guy, and he figures it out. He knows how to hit. So for him, it's like it's easy because I can be like, well, hey, Coach Ray or myself or Coach Danny, we think you should be doing this because this is what you're going to learn at the next level. Right. And we haven't really had too much of a problem with that yet. But a lot of times what we'll do is we'll video them with their swing, and then we'll video them with the way we're trying to mechanically change them a little bit, and then we have them take that to their hitting coach, and then their hitting coach can work on maybe. Most hitting coaches won't say they're wrong, but they'll start to put some of the stuff that we're showing to into their new workouts, and kind of just change it up. Because again, when it's all said and done, we want the best for the player. Absolutely. I mean, whether he thinks I'm wrong at what I'm telling him, that's fine. As long as you're hitting and you feel comfortable and things are working out, cool. Do it your way.
Right.
But I will say that as you get older and you continue to go through the levels of baseball, they're going to change your swing at some point. It doesn't matter how many home runs you hit right now. You go to college, a college coach, it's going to change your swing.
Right.
When you go to the minor league coach, hitting coach, it's going to change your swing. They're going to change something about you because they're trying to get the numbers that they need. Mm-hmm. And if you don't hit those numbers, then they don't really need you.
Right.
So in this game nowadays, you kind of have to learn to change. The game changes and evolves all the time, and you kind of have to have that mindset, open mindset of, I'm going to have to change something. It could be my landing point. It could be how they want me to start. It could be a ton of different things. But when it's all said and done, it's how we finish in our swing. Is if we're on plane and we're on, attack angles correct, you're going to be okay. But sometimes they just want maybe start you different. Maybe, have you land different. Shorten everything out.
Yeah.
So many things that can change, but
Right.
yeah, you have to learn to eventually to go with the flow because it doesn't matter. I mean, no parent or anybody's gonna call, you know, you're gonna call Donald Fergus at UC Santa Barbara and say, "Hey, dude, you're wrong." When the guy worked for the Minnesota Twins, like, no, he knows what he's doing. I mean, yeah,
Right.
he's changed programs that weren't hitting to now they're raking. So
Yeah.
yeah. We're not gonna get too many arguments there. I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't call and complain.
Well, there's the temptation as a parent, and I'll say this from my perspective because growing up, of course, I played baseball just like every kid played baseball, but I was a basketball player.
Okay.
So, and I ended up, of course, having a baseball and softball player.
Yeah.
Right.
Good ones
And
too.
so,
Yeah.
Well, and so as you go through it, and you're at every lesson, you're at every practice, you're helping with practice, you're doing all those things, and you become, it kind of comes back to you, the baseball, the softball. But the temptation is there to be able to, after hearing all this information and reading all this information, and we want the best for our kids.
Yeah.
So as a parent, sitting outside the cage on a lesson for 5 years, 6 years, or whatever, and then we start saying stuff like, we start echoing some things, right?
And it helps.
Yeah.
It helps 100%. Yeah.
Land early.
Yeah.
Hands back.
Get those hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't separate them so far from the body. Yeah. I mean, you
don't
start.
fly open,
Yeah. You
all
start
that.
throwing out stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, us parents just want to help.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the whole reason why there's a program like this is to be able to take the experts in the field to be able to make them more successful, period.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that there's no one, sometimes, if there's a hitting coach that, I really trust him, and he's doing really good, he's hitting really good, he's hitting 600, you're probably not going to change the 600. The guy hits 600 or whatever.
Yeah. Even and he could be doing stuff wrong. Yeah. I mean, he could totally be doing stuff wrong, but he's hitting. So, I mean, why change it until he can hit? Then we'll fix it up. We'll do some tweaks in there.
Right.
I just feel though that just speaking as a parent,
But I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But even if they're hitting 600 at one certain level, knowing that they're going to be at another level where things change, right? Either the base is spread out, or
things get bigger. Yeah.
things get bigger,
Yeah.
or now in college you have every best guy, right?
Yeah. You have to be open-minded as a parent and as a player. I mean, it works both ways because the player can be open-minded and the parent is like, nope, this is who you're going to hit with.
Right.
I just speaking as a parent, with my son, I had him hit with like 4 or 5 different guys that I've known. I mean, Brian Hunter played for the Atlanta Braves. Really good friend of mine. I mean, he hit with Brian. And it was more just to learn the mental part of it. To learn of, you're going to strike out or you're going to get beat on a, something, in the 90s.
Right.
How do you react to it? What are you going to do? Buddy Morales, head baseball coach at Colony. I mean, that guy is a great hitting coach. So for me, I mean, yes, I played. These guys played a little further than I did. And as a player, I was open-minded to say that I don't know everything.
Right.
And these guys know more than me because they played at a higher level than I did. And so I would go to the guys like that, and they would help my son out. So, but again, he was open-minded, but as a dad, I have to be open-minded. I can't be like, oh no, I know it all, and this head coach knows everything, and it's like, well, man, the more people you can put your kid kind of in front of when they're young, and kind of mold them and maybe pick pieces from everywhere. And then that's going to make your kid better. That's going to help your son or daughter understand the game. Right. And just to kind of, talk and to really just hear things.
That's kind of what I was waiting for. It's like communication means everything.
It's 100%. I mean, when I did lessons...
You never want to close yourself off. Well, I can't do that because I don't hit that way.
Yeah.
So, and, just as long as you're communicating and there's nothing that you would say or I would say in the weight room or on the field to be able to say that I have a closed off mind. And I'm not going to learn anything today, for sure.
There's no way.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still learning at this day. I mean, Dino came out and talked, and I'm taking notes. Yeah. I mean, he's one of the best third base coaches in the bigs. Absolutely. I coach third base for our program. I mean, I want to learn stuff. Yeah. 2 out running, 1 out running, who's running. I mean, I was picking up stuff like a sponge. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah. So if I'm learning,
one of his big points was about the weight room.
That was the biggest point. Yeah. Is that baseball is in the weight room. That's where it's all at. The Dodgers are doing it. I mean, why wouldn't a high school kid do it?
Right.
And these are big league guys. Big contract guys, big money guys that are doing this on a daily. So and he letting us know 7 p.m. game. They're there at noon, working out, getting ready. Says a lot. And then we have the same thing here, and that's huge. I mean, he wouldn't send his kid here if we weren't doing things right, in my mind.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to try to make these like a half an hour ish.
Okay.
We're not gonna get Joe Rogan in like 3 hours and 45 minutes on these.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, just so that it's digestible
For sure.
for everybody. So, any parting words? Anything that advice you give to parents? Because I think this is more of a forum for parents than it is
Okay.
for anybody else. Because we want to make sure that the information of all the stuff that happens here, because it's such an extensive program, we do so many things. Not all the time does that information get back to home.
Yes.
The stuff that you guys are doing.
So I just to leave for our high school guys, our seniors, our juniors. Recruiting's tough. COVID hit, and we have fifth-year seniors. We have what we call the super seniors in college now that are taking up time and taking up spots. Do the extra. When I played, my dad made a video for me, and we sent it out to a bunch of recruiters. That stuff is going to help. All that stuff is going to help. Number one, don't contact the head coach. You'll never hear from him. Contact the head recruiter, recruiting coordinator. Sometimes it's even best to contact the associate coach because he'll answer everybody's calls. He answers everybody's emails. That's his job.
Right.
And then he can push that video up and get it up to the chain of command. Whoever your son is playing for in the summer, make sure they have connections. Use them. Use everybody. This is a village. It's going to take a village to get your kid to college right now.
Right.
It's just so hard. There's so many kids. USC, 63-man roster. Long Beach State, 65-man roster. Guys are going to get cut. Guys are going to get sent to JCs. It's a tough time in baseball right now. For kids that are here, junior high kids, keep them here. I mean, this is when my son, he came in, first thing he told Ed is, why didn't you do this when I was in high school? I would have left Claremont. I would have been here every day. Bigger, faster, stronger. That's the things we preach in college, and that's the thing we preach here at EM. It's bigger, faster, stronger. Those are the guys that are going to go somewhere. Those are the guys that are going to get to that next level.
Exactly.
And then, of course, always hit the books. You can be the greatest baseball player, and if you have bad grades, you don't go to college, but now you're in the draft, and that's cool, but you just limited yourself. You have no buying power. They're going to control you. They're going to offer you $6,000. You got to take it. I mean, you can be great, but you have to take it. You have no what do they say? No dog in the fight when it's over.
No leverage at all.
Yeah, no leverage at all. And so the books are huge, especially for us here. I mean, I think that
why not get academic money
and some
money?
baseball money? Now you're at 100%. I mean, it's great. Why not? I mean, get all the money you can.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. And even the stuff that we do, because you're doing a lot with recruiting. I mean, I saw you the other day on the phone with LSU head coach saying, and he's saying, I don't know where that communication, how that all goes, but of course it's an advantage that since you were a college coach and you played, and a lot of these guys that you played with, now they're spread out.
They're at the big D1s, which is nice for them. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, we had one of our pitchers here through 90. I mean, it was awesome to see. And I just reached out to a couple of pitching coaches that I know that are friends. And we're like, hey, dude, I got this kid. What do you think? And we got a lot of responses. I'm all in. Let's make this happen. And so it's huge. And I'm hoping that the boys see that this is why we're here. Why myself and my staff are here is so we can help, open doors. The more help you have, the better chances you're going to get. It's not one guy could do it.
I see you on the floor motivating these kids. I see you on the field motivating these kids. I see you doing all your chalk talks and talking to them about the things that they need to do to be able to get to the next level. We do have some. We had the majority of our kids. They're crushing it. They're working
100%.
hard. They're getting better and all those things. But if I'm a kid trying to get recruited and I throw 82 and I want to get recruited as a pitcher and I don't put in the extra, then I really can't expect the extra.
You can't.
So it's unrealistic type of.
It's just unrealistic in life. I mean, you got to put the work in
Right.
to
So,
succeed.
coach, get me recruited. Get me recruited is not. I mean, you get you recruited.
You have to help
I'm
yourself.
the facilitator.
Yeah.
Right. I have the contacts to be able to get you wherever. But if you're throwing 82 and you're not putting the work in to be able to throw 88.
88. At least minimum 88. 89.
You're a righty, so you need to throw 90.
You got to be in the 90s.
New
Lefty,
90,
88's perfect. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are some of the unrealistic things that I see some of the kids, but I see them getting it.
Yes, a lot. I'd say probably 90% we're all in. There's guys that are here that are giving 100% every day.
Yeah.
And then you have those percentage guys that, they're good. And that's the sad part, is a lot of those guys are good.
Yeah.
And they don't, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they just don't believe in the weight room or what, but I mean.
I think the accountability question
100%.
is something they learn at home plus something they can learn here.
Yeah.
And my hope for them is if they are that other percentage, it's not like they're not working out, they are.
They're working out.
But as an athlete, you can
Yeah.
tell is somebody, trying to get
Is
better,
going all out and
right?
trying to beat the next guy.
Are you challenging yourself?
Yeah.
Change doesn't happen without a challenge. If you're not,
Yes.
if you challenge yourself, there'll be a change. And so those kids that are, trying to look busy,
Yeah.
right, in the weight
Carrying
room,
a weight from one room to one spot to the next. Yeah.
realistically, that's not going to work. And in those kind of cases, for us in this kind of program, I know the kids will fall out.
Well, and they
gonna
will
be
hear,
frustrating.
but if say they do get somewhere, those are the guys that get cut real quick.
Yeah.
We can see it at the college level. We know who's working, who's not.
Right.
You
And
can
if
just
you
see
put
it.
your reputation on the line and you say to somebody, "Hey, this is
Yeah.
do this guy," and that guy comes over there and he's a guy that doesn't
Lazy and just doesn't do it, yeah, it makes me look bad because
Sounds good.
now no one's gonna, and there may be a question mark on the next guy I try to,
Right.
send out. So
Right.
it's hard. It's hard to put your stamp of approval on someone because you got to make sure they're doing it here. And if they're doing it here, then it's just gonna carry out.
I mean, you can't do it.
No.
You can't put your reputation
can't
on the line.
put- no.
Because that would mean the rest of the kids that are down the line, they're not going to get.
They're
a
gonna be the
chance.
ones that are gonna, be impacted.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So work hard.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah.
There's no substitute.
There's no substitution for hard work.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.